Hi, welcome once more on Ideas Matter. Um, a quick message to Africans in diaspora. So we know that all of us travel. In fact, it will not only be to the Africans in diaspora, it will involve, in fact, it should benefit all other people who have moved from their own country of origin, their countries of origin, to other people's countries. So you, in that country, you are not in your country. So you are in another person's country. So we would also want to focus here more on the Africans in diaspora. So we want to say that Africans, while you are in another man's country, another person's country, in other people's countries, the first thing you should take note of are your traveling documents, your legal documents. First of all, your passport. Make sure you take good care of your passport, keep them well. Make sure you take note of the expiration dates and your visa or your working documents in that country. Make sure you take care of them. And also, make sure you respect the laws of the land, the laws of your hosting country, of your host country. Also, the host countries, please also know that whatever laws that has been put in place to guide those foreigners that are living in your country or your country should be fairly applied, not because somebody is coming from this country or from that country, or this person looks this way or that way, the law should be applied unfairly. No, please. We want to think that the ideas matter is about ideas, and we're concerned about everybody. Now imagine that your citizens are also in those people's countries. Now ask yourself, if they are treated that way, if they are treated unfairly in their own countries too, how do you feel? You don't speak up. So that's it we want to talk here. So also make sure that the laws are applied fairly. So again, if you're living in another person's country, especially we're talking here to mostly the African people living in other people's countries, make sure you respect the laws of the land. Wherever you are living, do not make that place be uncomfortable to the people where you're living. Nobody is perfect, we agree. Avoid late night enjoyment or late night fun, as you want to call it, whatever it is. Man is a social being. Yeah, it's normal. You can go out there, you have some fun once in a while, but it should not be something that is constant and you stay out there late into the night all the time. Please avoid this. Well, you don't give yourself a good image. You don't give your country a good image either. Remember, where you live, you're not only representing yourself, you're representing your own self, your family, your country, and in fact, your own race. So you make sure your documents are intact. You respect the people where you're living. And the people of the host country you also respect those who are living amongst you as well. They should not be treated unfairly just because they are not citizens of your country. It should be about the law. If they are respecting the laws and they keep, in fact, remember, nobody is perfect. Let us be fair. We are all humans. You know that you are not perfect yourself. So no, you cannot think that some other people are that perfect. So if you're living in the diaspora, especially African, those coming from the African backgrounds, beware of online fraud, online scamming. So mostly it comes through businesses like buying and selling. It also comes mostly when you want to extend your visas and so on. So you have to be careful. We watch video of people who have died because of shock after sending money to for visas to be extended. No, the passport will be kept there and the money gone away, money taken away, only for the passport to be returned after the visa expires. Sometimes the passport is not even returned. I mean, you can imagine the shock the person is put in. And African brothers and our sisters, you collect people's passport or somebody's money and passport, and then you keep it there. You kill your brother, you kill your sister. At some point, we start blaming other races. When we are the true people, we are the ones killing ourselves. What are we doing to ourselves? So please, also, join groups that have good, groups that are educative clubs, educative groups. For example, I created a group, Ideas Matter. This very Ideas Matter, we have it on the group chat and like the WeChat. There, it's for all Africans to feel as one in a group. In that group, everybody should feel like one. We should talk to each other, educate ourselves, advise each other. Take concern of what is happening back in your very countries. Here, we should stay as brothers and sisters, as one people. We cannot be asking other races to love us more than we do love ourselves. I have said it over and over. The way you talk to your brother, the way you talk to your sister, whatever you do to them, especially in the public, determines how another person will treat your brother, another person will treat your sister, will talk to them. So we cannot pretend we're complaining, oh, these people are treating us badly, when we ourselves are not doing better among ourselves. That's it. So respect the laws of the land. We should know that wherever you are an ambassador of your own country. You're representing not only yourself, you're representing your own country. Take care of your documents. Make sure you guys take interest in the issues that happen in your countries. Continue to support your people back home. Invest back home. Invest in the education of the young ones back home. Because the future of every country depends on the little children. Even though we have been deceived time and again, in fact, most of us, when we grew up, we were heard, we were told, you are the future of tomorrow. And for the Africans especially, do not accept this until it happens, because we have not seen it. The old people who were there before we were born, they are still ruling. They are there. Make sure you take interest in the education of these people. Construct back home, build back home. Sometimes we find it difficult, those in the diaspora find it difficult to invest back home because of constant conflict, wars. See what is happening in Mali. See what is happening in Cote d'Ivoire, Guinea Equatorial. Look at South Sudan, the southern Cameroons. Whatever you might have invested there has been destroyed. Where do you begin? You see, Africans, African leaders. Please, I don't want to go back to African leaders because today this video is only about those in the diaspora. So you can group yourselves, find out, know each other. Once you know each other, you can now group yourself. Like you can form some joint ventures, entrepreneurship, like building some schools, building supermarkets or shopping malls. Whatever you want to invest in, schools, kindergarten, primary school, and so on. You get some legal documents, and the government back home, please help those in the diaspora to make a contribution to the countries. It shouldn't be like we, those in the diaspora, are refusing to invest back home. Look at the wars that are going on. Whatever that might have been invested there is destroyed. Now, where do you begin? For God's sake, where do you begin? So, make sure before you go into these joint ventures, before you go into this entrepreneurship with other people that you've gotten to know through your contact, your interaction, and so on, you make sure you sign some agreements. Some agreements should be put in place as bylaws. People should respect, like what happened in other countries, as you've all seen how they're developing. Because what happens with us mostly is that when this money is contributed, one person or some other few members within the group, you come up with your own shares. You contribute your own money. And then one person or two or three people among the group decide to swindle the money away, and then it collapses. No. When you make agreement, it should be firm, like what happened in other countries. When one person decides to take away the money or to mismanage the money, even if it means killing the person, you should kill the person. Yes, that will send a message, and it should be written down. If you know you are a thief and you want to join them because you want to squander the money, do not join them, because when the time will come, whoever that is planning that, or who among those people who are planning that, they should be held responsible. You must pay back the money. You must. It's a must. You must pay back the money, because that's sweat of other people. Some people have sweated. You don't know how they have suffered to get the money, and you swindle the money away. You should be made to pay back the money. If you don't pay back the money, if you don't mean paying it with your own life, that will teach other people a lesson. And that's how we bring development to a place. We are not only blaming our leaders, let us also take responsibilities that will bring about development and enjoyment, that our people can see the fruits. Now, all of this, I think that all these things can help us. We should be each other's keeper when we are out here, when we are out in the diaspora. Whatever happens to one of you is happening to everybody. So we should stand by ourselves, stand by each other. These are the messages, mostly preached. I preach on my groups. on my group, especially the Ideas Matter group, where I invite citizens, in fact, countries, people from all over the world, from all continents in that group, mostly colored people, in fact, colored people, I should say, because we think that the colored people, especially Africans, we have suffered too much. In some ways, the world has treated us so unfairly, and even it still goes on until we are able to find a solution among ourselves. So, those things that we can do to be able to, to stand firm, to stand strong. Once Africa develop, I can assure you, once our communities change, they will respect us. They will come to us. In fact, they're coming to us now just to get minerals back in your countries, in your continent. They're just coming for minerals. And we don't have leaders. Africa is suffering from leadership crisis. So we should, before we want to blame other people, we should know that we have to do it by ourselves first. Show an example by ourselves first. Stop blackmailing one another, smearing each other to smell like shit, trying to kill somebody's personality, kill somebody's character because you want to destroy him. All of that, what is that helping us in? So we should be each other's keeper. Wherever you are, if somebody falls, wherever you are, if somebody falls down, somebody is ill, we should celebrate together. When there's a feast, something to celebrate, we celebrate together. When it's time to cry, we should cry together. If you can buy something, and you can get your insurance. If you can buy your insurance, and you have the money, please do it. It will help you. Well, in due time, it will help you. And the insurance companies also keep your own side of the agreement. Whatever somebody is contributing monthly or yearly or annually or monthly, and then when the time comes, something happens. There's an issue that happens that needs the insurance company to intervene. Then you start asking, go and get this document from that office. Go to that office and get this document. That person has an accident, for example. He cannot walk. He cannot go. This is not fair. This is not fair. So the insurance companies also make sure you keep your own side of the agreement. At that time, the person cannot go around. If you have those documents, give the documents to the person at the time he is registering in your own company or in your own insurance company. So that at the time when something happens, say, present this document that I gave to you. Not telling the person to go around looking for this document, go to this office, go to that. It doesn't work like that. Please. So, African people, and this could go to all other people who are living, world citizens who are living in other countries. We should learn to keep our documents intact. Try your best. Avoid online scam. And all this, it often happens. It always happens. Some of us have fallen victim of all this before. We talk out of experience. You can imagine the shock. You can imagine the pain you go through. It's not good at all. Especially when you know that this is done to you by a sister or a brother that you thought could be of help to you. We should first of all be our keepers. First of all, care about ourselves before we think that other people should care for us. So take interest in develop how the issues in your country are going on. Because you are in the diaspora, yes, but you have one country. If whatever is happening that does not affect you directly, it affects you in another way. Your family members are there. Now look at what is happening in Mali, in Sudan, Equatorial Guinea, in other places. Ivory Coast and so on. In every month you have to be sending money home. Why are you sending? Because something has happened. If you don't take interest, they always say that prevention is better than cure. So we should take interest about what is happening in your country back home, in the continent, what is happening in the continent, how your leaders are governing, because they have gone into debts. They have gone into debts that you and your generation will keep paying until, the generation that will come long after you die, they will still be paying. When are we going to be expecting us to develop, our countries to develop, our continent to develop? So we should not only live in the diaspora. You live in the diaspora, you forget about what is happening back home. No. And those back home, when money is sent back home for one thing or another, money should be used well. Those they're sending money for your education and so on. Make sure the children study well. Because at some point, if the result is not seen, they stop sending the money, of course. They're not forced. They're not forced to send the money. So play your own part as a student. Make sure, like I made another document up there. You decide that as a citizen of your country, you will be the first to stand up when it comes to justice, when it comes to doing something right, correctly. That is when you can hold your leader responsible. Because you cannot expect somebody to do good when you are not yourself doing it. I hope we are all listening. Have a nice day.